Echoes of wisdom, stories untold, legends of old, in voices bold. Where magic unfolds, adventure awaits in every fold. Joy all harms fade, join the journey, let the magic behold.
Welcome to Temple Timeless Tales, where stories come alive, wisdom echoes through generations, and imagination knows no bounds. Here, we bring you the richest African folktales, passed down through time, filled with adventure, lessons, and unforgettable characters. Wisdom stories and legendary myths passed down through generations. Today's captivating story is The Wise Woman of the River, African Folktale and Women Empowerment. Sit back, relax, and let's journey into the heart of storytelling. In the beginning, there was only the land, the sky, and the river. Long ago, in the heart of the African wilderness, where the river Noma whispered secrets to the trees and danced with the wind, there was a village called Umuola, a land once rich and fertile, blessed by the river's kindness. But as time passed, the people forgot the old ways. They stopped listening to the river. They stopped listening to her. And to the people of Umuola, the river Noma was more than water, it was life. She sang the seasons. She whispered to seeds. She cradled the village in her flow. But time makes hearts forget. And when hearts forget, the river falls silent. For many seasons, the river gave. But the people grew careless. They chopped the sacred trees. They ignored the ancestral rites. They silenced the voices of the women who warned them. And now, the rain has stopped. The rains no longer came. The soil turned bitter. Goats collapsed in the sun, and the yam barns stood empty. The village elders blamed the gods, the women, even the moon. But none dared speak of her, the one who warned them before the drought began. When drought struck Umuola and the skies grew silent, the village leaders, proud and stubborn, refused to seek her help. Instead, they called meetings, made sacrifices, and blamed everyone but themselves. Day after day, inside their dusty council hut, the village chiefs argue, slamming fist. The elders met. They argued. They prayed. They blamed one another. But none dared speak of the old one who once warned them of this very drought. Her name was Mama Ebele, old as the hills, eyes like storm clouds, fingers like roots. To the foolish, she was a witch. To the broken, she was hope. To the river, she was a daughter. She was the last of the river mothers, a sacred order of women who spoke with the spirits, healed the sick, and protected the bond between earth and water. Now she is old and all alone, always sitting by the riverbank. A frail old woman in faded cloth sits under a twisted tree. Her hair is silver. Her eyes like quiet thunder. She hums. She lived alone by the river's edge, weaving charms from bark and bone, and singing to the water no one else could hear. They feared her, mocked her, said she was mad. But they forgot that madness is often the name given to wisdom too ancient for the proud to understand. Meet young Mama Ebele dancing in white with other women in moonlight. She was once a daughter of the river mothers, guardians of sacred knowledge, healers of both spirit and soil. They danced with the moon. They spoke with the rain. But when men grew afraid of their power, they scattered the other like dust. Only Mama Ebele remained. Yet in every generation, the river chooses another. And this time, it chose a young girl with fire in her heart and questions on her tongue. Yet in every generation, the river chooses another. And this time, it chose a young girl with fire in her heart and questions on her tongue. She had seen enough of hunger, of silence, of watching her mother cry over empty pots. Where others turned their backs, Zina stepped forward. A teenage girl walks past the villagers. She stops by the river and watches Mama Ebele from afar. Her eyes are filled with wonder. She listened. Small in size, but mighty in spirit. Where others saw a curse, she saw a key. Her name was Zina. And when the world turned away from the wise woman, Zina leaned in. She would become the student of the forgotten, the seeker of truth, the girl who would awaken the river. One night, Zina sits with her mother. They eat from an empty plate. Her father sighs and curses the sky. Zina looks out the window toward the river. She had watched too long as her mother went hungry, as her village waited for help that never came. She knew deep down that change would not come from the council. It had to come from somewhere older. From her. In the pre-dawn mist of the next day, while the village still slept, Zina sneaks out of her hut, barefoot. She walks through the quiet village toward Mama Ebele's home. She followed the river's voice. Before the cock crowed, Zina followed the river's pull. She walked past fear, past gossip, past tradition, straight into the forgotten, into Mama Ebele's hut. Mama Ebele in her hut with hanging herbs, burning incense, bones arranged in sacred symbols. She turns slowly as Zina enters. Mama Ebele gentle and raspy. You've heard her, haven't you? The river. She speaks loudest when the world is quiet. Zina, hesitant but boldly replied, I don't want to be afraid anymore. I want to learn. And so it began. While the village blamed the sky, Zina was learning to read the wind. While others cursed the river, she was learning its language. She studied plants that could heal, stones that could speak, dreams that could be won. She was not just learning how to survive. She was becoming something more. She learned of sacred songs that could stir the clouds, of leaves that could heal wounds deeper than skin, of truths buried beneath the silence of generations. But knowledge comes at a price. And before balance could return, Zina would have to face the very soul of the river and of herself. A storm cloud gathers in the distance. Mama Ebele's eyes darken as she gazes into the water. For the river was stirring again. Not with anger, but with expectations. The time of reckoning had come. And the question was no longer if Zina would rise, but how. But time was running out. The river had grown restless. And deep beneath the surface, something ancient was stirring. The girl had been chosen. But was she ready? But the path to wisdom is not paved with ease.
Zina must face ancient trials, her deepest fears, and a truth that could shake the roots of the village. This is the story of how one girl, guided by the spirit of the river, would rise, not to rule, but to restore. This is the tale of the wise woman of the river. Of the girl who listened. And the land she helped awaken. And this is just the beginning. Stay tuned as we unfold the mysteries, sacrifices and challenges in The Wise Woman of the River, an African folktale and women empowerment.
Thank you, dear friend, for sharing this time. More tales await, legends sublime. Like, share, subscribe, stay on this ride. Together we'll journey, hearts open wide. With every story and song we embrace. In the warmth of our voices, find your place.